7 reasons you're still not where you want to be. There's a version of you that already has the life you want. Same face, same name, same brain. The only difference between you and that version is 7 decisions you keep making without realizing it. Not one big mistake, not bad luck, not the system. 7 quiet, invisible patterns. And by the time we get to number 4, you're going to recognize yourself so hard it's uncomfortable. So stay till the end, because reason number 7 is the one almost nobody talks about. And it's probably the real reason you're here watching this instead of doing the thing you said you'd do today. Let's decode why people fail to succeed, and more importantly, how to stop being one of them. Reason 1. They confuse motion with progress. Reason 1. They mistake motion for progress. Your brain is wired to reward feeling busy, not being effective. Every time you research, plan, reorganize your notes, watch how to be productive videos, yes, including this one, your brain releases a small hit of dopamine that says, good job, even though nothing actually moved forward. This is called planning fallacy paired with effort justification. Psychologists have shown people consistently rate preparation as equivalent to achievement, even when zero output exists. So they spend years getting ready to start, ready to launch the business, ready to apply, ready to post the video, always one step before the step that matters. And the cruel part? Motion feels safer than progress, because progress can fail in public. Motion just feels like momentum. But here's the question that should scare you a little. If someone froze your life today and asked, what did you actually finish this month? Could you answer in one sentence? If you couldn't, that's reason 1, and it gets worse. Reason 2, they outsource their standards to the room. Reason 2, they let the room set their ceiling. Humans are what researchers call socially referenced. We unconsciously calibrate our ambition to the average of the people around us. It's not weakness, it's biology. Your nervous system is built to seek belonging over excellence, because for 200,000 years, belonging kept you alive, and excellence sometimes got you exiled from the tribe. So if you grew up around people who called big goals unrealistic, your brain quietly filed ambition under dangerous, not admirable. This is why the same idea that gets mocked in one friend group gets funded in another. The idea never changed. The room did. And most people never audit the room. They just absorb its ceiling and call it being realistic. Ask yourself honestly, are your goals actually too big? Or are they just bigger than what the 5 people around you attempted? Because reason 3 is about to explain why even when they have big goals, they still don't chase them. Reason 3, they protect their self-image more than their future. Reason 3, and this one's uncomfortable, they protect their identity more than their potential. Once you tell yourself a story, I'm not a numbers person, I'm just not disciplined, I'm the funny one, not the ambitious one, your brain will unconsciously sabotage anything that threatens that identity. Psychologists call this identity protective cognition. It's the same mechanism that makes people reject evidence that contradicts their political beliefs, except here, it's turned against your own future. So the moment success requires becoming someone new, part of you resists, not because you don't want the outcome, but because you're terrified of losing the you that everyone already recognizes. This is why people sabotage right before the breakthrough. Miss the interview. Skip the gym the week results start showing. Pick a fight right when things get good. It's not self-destruction. It's self-preservation, protecting an old identity that's already expired. And that fear gets fed by something even sneakier. Reason 4. Reason 4. They let fear of judgment outweigh fear of regret. Reason 4. They fear being seen more than they fear staying stuck. Here's a pattern you'll recognize instantly. People will tolerate years of quiet dissatisfaction rather than risk one moment of visible failure. Why? Because failure in front of others activates the same neural regions as physical pain. This has been shown repeatedly in social pain research. Your brain doesn't distinguish between everyone saw me fail and I got hurt. It reacts identically. So people choose invisible suffering over visible risk every single time, because invisible pain feels survivable and visible pain feels fatal. But notice the trade they're actually making. They're choosing a guaranteed slow regret over a possible fast embarrassment. And regret, unlike embarrassment, doesn't fade. It compounds. If that hit a nerve, comment the number 4 below right now because I guarantee you're not the only one who just felt that. Now, reason 5 is the one that explains why even brave people still fail. Reason 5. They chase clarity instead of building it. Reason 5. They wait for clarity before they act, when clarity actually comes after action, not before it. This is one of the most misunderstood ideas in psychology. People assume successful people had a clear plan first. In reality, most report the opposite. They took an imperfect action, got real feedback from reality, adjusted, and only then did the path become clear. Waiting for certainty before moving is called analysis paralysis, and it's a trap because certainty was never coming. Life doesn't hand out clarity in advance. It hands it out as a receipt after you've already paid the price of moving. So people stay frozen for years, waiting for a feeling of readiness that only ever arrives after they start, which leads to something even more dangerous, because some people do start and still fail. Reason 6 is why. Reason 6. They quit at the exact point progress goes invisible. Reason 6. They quit right when progress becomes invisible. Growth is rarely linear. It's closer to a flat line that suddenly spikes, sometimes called the plateau effect. Almost every skill, habit, or business follows this pattern. Long stretches where nothing visibly changes, followed by a sudden jump. The problem is, humans are wired to need feedback to stay motivated. No visible feedback reads to your brain as this isn't working, even in the exact weeks where the internal groundwork for the breakthrough is being laid. So people quit during the flat part, the part every single successful person had to survive, because it felt identical to failure. The tragic part? Most give up somewhere between 70 and 90% of the way to the spike. Close enough to almost make it. Far enough to never know. And that quiet, almost giving up moment sets up the final, deepest reason. The one most people never admit, even to themselves. Reason 7. They never actually decided. Reason 7. And if you've made it this far, this is the one that matters most. They never actually decided. Not wanted. Not hoped. Decided. A want is a preference. A decision is a commitment that survives the day you don't feel like it anymore. Most people are operating on a want disguised as a decision, which is why the moment things get hard, boring, slow, or unrewarding, the decision quietly dissolves, and they tell themselves a comforting story. Maybe it wasn't meant for me. Maybe the timing's off. Maybe I need a sign. But a real decision doesn't ask for signs. It removes the exit. The people who actually change their life aren't the most talented, the most disciplined, or even the bravest. They're simply the ones who made staying stuck more uncomfortable than the discomfort of changing. Everything else, the motion, the room, the identity, the fear, the waiting, the quitting, all 7 reasons collapse into this one, single root cause. An undecided mind will always find a reason to stay the same. So here's the real question. Out of these 7, which one is quietly running your life right now? Comment the number below. Just the number. No explanation needed. You'll know, and so will everyone reading the comments who feels exactly the same way. Because the moment you can name the pattern, you've already taken the first real decision. If this decoded something in you, subscribe, because next time, we're going deeper into the psychology of why some people break these patterns permanently and most people don't. I'll see you in the next one.